Hello, and welcome to the We Recommend podcast, a movie podcast where every week we recommend a movie for you to watch and then come back here and listen to us discuss. I'm Jesse.
And I'm Jason.
I'm Dakota.
You're going to eat lightning and you're going to crap thunder because this week we recommend Rocky. So
That's good. I like that.
Personally, for me, this
and
is
you're
my
gonna piss acid rain.
Yeah. For me personally, this is my favorite sports movie. Let me hear y'all's favorite sports movies. Y'all got some?
There's not a lot of boxing in this movie.
Yeah,
that's fine. But it's still a sports
what
movie.
I was talking about before.
If this is gonna be team up on one of Jesse's favorite movies, then we're just not doing this
Oh
right
no,
now.
Jesse, you have to defend a movie. You've never had to do that before.
Yeah, let me defend just 1977's Best Picture. Let me
guess.
defend one of the well-known greatest movies of all time.
Hey,
Should I defend that? Dude, that's so good. You're so good. That's so weird.
That's just, I
All
like
right,
how from
Jason,
Yes.
do the Rocky impression. You're next, Dakota.
Oh god.
Oh man, what am I gonna say?
Is it anything?
It's
He's choking.
I'm choking
He's choking.
hardcore
He's
because I
choking.
didn't have like a line to say
Just be,
to translate into rock.
just be like, hey, this is a nice couch. Nice couch, you know.
This is a nice couch. This is a nice couch. Yeah.
Dang, that's
God, he's so good.
That's pretty good. I'm actually kind of pissed off how good that is. It's really upsetting. All right, Dakota, you go.
And you come over here and, get comfortable. You can get comfortable right over here.
That's not too bad. That's not too bad.
Get real hot in here.
I ain't gonna do it.
Shut up.
Hey, you wanna meet my turtle Cuff and Link? Come on now.
Is that really
Why
what
do
their
I-
names are?
Yeah, his turtle's like,
Hey,
hey, Apollo Creed, I like the guy, but he ain't dumb like me, you
I'm
know.
gonna do the big fight. I'll do the big fight.
I'll
What
do
do?
the- Hey, Polly, you got a drinking habit. I'm
God.
balling my girl.
Man, he's got a box to buy cigarettes.
Killed me.
I
Every
know
time
he
I
only
saw
made like
that.
$400 off that fight, but I guess in the 70s it wasn't too bad, I guess. I don't know.
That's like $1 billion.
No, he got
in today's
65
money.
from it.
No, I mean like his first fight at the very beginning.
Yeah, he got $65.
No, I thought. Oh yeah, because after they took out all the stuff, yeah.
After he got punched, he just got punched in the face over and over.
Yeah, that's the way he fights in all the movies. They're
Just
like,
with
stop.
his chin forward.
They're all like, stop getting hit. He's like, this is how I fight. I don't know.
I got no brain to lose, so wear him out.
Wear him out with my chin.
What am I gonna be a pansy and put my hands up in my face? What do you think? Huh? Like what? That's not how we do it in South Philly.
I'm a real man.
That's Will Smith.
Oh God, real tough guy.
So, did y'all like the movie?
Yeah.
Dude, are you serious? Did you like the movie? Have y'all seen this movie before?
No, I don't think I have. I think I've seen the end.
Oh, yeah,
I've seen it because I've seen all the better Rockies.
Jesus Christ. I will literally start swinging on everybody here.
You got that little foam thing behind you. You can pretend it's
I'll
like the
start
master.
swinging. I will. Golly. You know, like this video is getting disliked right now.
I'd say it was a
Everybody.
bad movie.
Sylvester Stallone is at home just like, hey, this is my favorite movie. Starting to go.
in my career. I sold my dog for it.
I like that he liked his pets.
Yeah, he's a good guy. Rocky's a good guy.
He is a good guy. He's a simpleton, but you know,
He might yell at you one moment, then he's like, what'd I do that?
Times
He
has
just
changed
vented.
since
I'm
then.
just getting it out, you know.
Can't help you. He ain't so smart. Well, god dang, this is my favorite Rocky movie.
It's
out of all of them.
awesome. It's the best.
It's not bad. It's just
It's not bad.
we'll get into some of the scenes.
I feel like they made it, and as they were making it, they're like, "This is gonna be there's gonna be sequels, so we don't have to like do a lot for this one."
They absolutely did not know that.
no.
Really?
Oh,
No.
I think what I
Jeez.
do like is it feels like it is definitely the people how they would be in that time. Because you know,
in
movies they kind of make
Philadelphia.
just in the time frame of that. Like sometimes people are nicer than how they are in the real world. It's like, I feel like these are real world people.
Yeah. I could see
Well, like
that.
a lot of people in like the training stuff, like they're just random people in the streets. It's like that they didn't even know they were filming a movie. 'Cause they just didn't have the budget.
just
I mean,
like
it's an indie movie.
carrying off the corpses from the night before, and they're like, oh
Yeah.
shit, we're in a movie.
Yeah,
Oh,
they just
dang.
hung them up in the butchery. You saw it.
I don't know. I just think it's like a good description of just like a rundown like middle-aged boxer that had no
Wait,
success.
how
He's
old
supposed
was
to be
Rocky?
middle-aged in the movie?
I mean, I think he's like in his 30s. For a boxer, that's probably old, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
I guess so.
For someone who's still
I never had my
boxing.
prime.
Because he's been boxing for 10 years. He's at least late 20s.
Wow, now I see why everyone was telling him, like, you gotta stop, Rocky.
Yeah, that's why. Have you ever thought about retiring, boy? Yeah, bum.
You should think about it.
Oops, I hit something. Well, we'll just go into a little bit about the movie. So, after producers Irwin Winkler and Robert Chardoff, God dang it, I'm doing it already, became interested in the script, they offered Sylvester Stallone an unprecedented $350,000 for the rights. He had $106 in the bank and no car, was trying to sell his dog because he couldn't afford to feed him. But he refused to sell unless he agreed to allow him to star in the film. They agreed on the condition that Stallone continued to work as a writer without a fee and that he work as an actor for scale. After Winkler and Chardoff purchased the film, they took it to United Artists, who envisioned a budget of $2 million with an established star, particularly Robert Redford, Ryan O'Neal, Burt Reynolds, Nick Nolte, James Caan. I don't see it working. When Winkler and Chardoff told United Artists that they could only get the screenplay if Stallone starred, United Artists cut the budget to $1 million and had Chardoff and Winkler sign an agreement that they would be personally liable if the film went over budget. Final cost was $1.1 million. Chardoff and Winkler mortgaged their houses for the last $100,000.
Dang, that's some commitment right there.
Yeah, bro.
I feel like we don't get that anymore.
Sylvester Stallone just I'm just gonna turn down this and just hope that it makes a lot of money.
Yeah.
I mean, it was good that he stuck to it for him to be in it because I can't imagine it being the same without him in it.
Yeah, it's because I don't know.
He felt
wonder if
real authentic.
I wonder if he still sold his dog.
No, he did.
He did.
He did for $40 for food.
And then he had to
Sweet.
buy it back for like $1,500.
Wow.
I saw
15,000?
15,000.
Oh, holy crap! I would do the
That's
same
what-
thing. Be like, someone nominated for an Oscar. Yeah, let me. Yeah, that's gonna be $15,000.
Oh, I thought you were like saying I'd spend that much to get my dog back. Like, no, you wouldn't. You'd sell him for a peanut.
I don't have $15,000 to buy him back from. I would do it for maybe $1,500, or just say, we'll just get another dog. I don't know.
Did you wear him out before
Just
I get him back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could you teach him manners? He comes home, he's sipping tea out of his cup.
Oh, it's good to see you, Father, again. It's been a long time.
Just eating a piece of cat shit and drinking coffee.
Yeah, he definitely wouldn't do that.
Dipping it in his tea.
I just see him. Like, it's good to see you. It was a very trying time for those early years of me.
I would love it. So, out of Robert Redford, Burt Reynolds, Nick Nolte, and James Caan, who would you pick out of those four? Do y'all know who those are?
No.
James Caan, he's the old man in Elf. He's also in like Godfather, Thief.
Well, who's Robert Redford? I'm drawing a blank.
Robert Redford, he's like in this. Let's see. I'm trying to think of a movie that you know. Oh, Captain America: Winter Soldier. He's the guy like in charge of the whole thing, and he turns out to be the bad guy.
No, yeah, no. I think Caan.
I mean, he was a
maybe?
really good actor.
I think
though.
James
He's like in All the President's
Caan?
Men and stuff like that. He's really good.
I don't know.
Yeah, he's famous. He's one of the other more famous one other than Burt Reynolds that I heard of.
Yeah.
Burt
Reynolds, I don't
I can't see that one now.
I can't see it,
he'll
but
always
that's
be
what I
smoky.
want. I
That's
think.
the one you want.
Yeah.
I can knock my mustache off
He
here.
would-
Hell yeah. No, his mustache gets gloves too.
Yeah. And then everybody knows Nick Nolte, the raspiest voice in the business.
I'm drawing another blank.
The Ang Lee Hulk movie with Eric Bana, he's the dad.
Oh, that guy.
He's the dad in Warrior. He's also
in Tropic Thunder.
Yeah, he's in Tropic
We'll just
Thunder.
watch that.
He's the guy with the raspy voice in The Mandalorian that kind of rides one of those like rhino things in the grass.
Oh, like the little pig thing
Yeah,
looking thing.
yeah.
Okay.
He also didn't always sound and look like that, but
I guess smoking back in the
yeah.
day.
Have y'all seen Warrior,
The
the UFC
played the
movie
video
with
game.
Tom Hardy?
Oh
and
wait, no, never mind.
With
I thought
Tom
you were talking
Hardy?
You're
about
thinking about the Warriors.
the Warriors.
Warriors. By the way, we're doing that scene. I've been dying to watch that. Okay, we'll head up to a different little factoid here. So most of the scenes of Rocky jogging through Philadelphia were shot guerrilla style. That means like with no permits or
They-
equipment or extra
They
stuff.
had a gorilla. They just shocked it a bunch.
Like, what are you
Sorry.
doing? And he just went gorilla mode.
They just went.
Don't mess with me.
He was being chased
They
by
went-
an active gorilla.
They went Planet of the Apes style. The shot where he runs past the like the boats where he's like running really fast. The crew was simply driving by the docks, and the director saw the boat and thought it would make a good visual, so he had Sylvester Stallone simply get out of the van and run along the quays, while the director himself filmed from the side door. A similar story concerns the famous shot of Rocky jogging through the food market. As he runs, the stall keepers and the people on the sidewalks can clearly be seen looking at him in bemusement. While this works for the context of the film to suggest that they're looking at Rocky, in reality, they had no idea why this man was running up and down the road being filmed from a van. During the scene, the famous shot where the stall owner throws Rocky an orange was completely improvised by the stall owner, who had no idea that a movie was being filmed and that he would be in it.
So he just threw it at him.
That's like my dream, to just be like, oh, hey, man, yeah. And then just next thing you know, like a year later, I'm like, that's me in a movie.
Whoa.
I think
Hey,
you
I'm
would
a
know at that
movie
point. Like,
star.
oh, there's a car with a camera in it. I know what's happening.
Sure. I mean, you never know now. I mean, like,
Just
shoot, people do things
Pegs
on
him in the face with an orange.
Ah, God. It's like, wow, I guess you're not a very good boxer. So
Keep
Sylvester.
your hands up.
No,
I took it to the face.
I never broke my nose once.
So does
Very
Adrian.
proud of that.
So Sylvester Stallone improvised the monologue that Rocky delivers after turning down Mickey's offer to manage him. Stallone has since explained that the bathroom of the tiny apartment in which they were shooting really did smell like death.
Oh.
That's the scene that gets him the Oscar nominee, by the way.
That was it. So he improvised
Obviously.
that whole speech, like as he's walking away.
I guess so. I'm
That
sure
was a
he,
good speech. Okay.
I'm sure he had like some of it written down and then probably just
Well, I think it
Expanded
fits.
it.
Where's my prom? Where's my prom?
for 10 years. I've been coming to you.
Had to steal my dog. Doesn't he still have one of those turtles?
I don't know. How long do turtles live?
Well, if they're tortoise, they're gonna live a while.
I think those are turtles.
I don't know. I saw
I don't
something that he, like a photo from years ago, that he still had it, and it was big.
Yeah.
I don't remember if it was the same thing.
I don't know. Maybe it is. I'll have to look that up later. I won't. I
Bring
always
in
say that,
animals
and
to a
then I
movie,
never
and
do.
that's all we're gonna focus on.
We got to stop talking about these turtles. Sylvester Stallone insisted that the scene where he admits his fears and doubts to Adrian the night before, he wanted that to be filmed. Even though production was running far behind and the producers wanted to skip it, Stallone had only one take for the scene, even though he considered it to be the most important scene in the film,
Wow.
which I agree.
It
Even
was
though,
good.
like, throughout the film, like, you can start seeing him slowly, which is why I think this movie's so good, going from, like, his, like, I'm a rundown guy, then he gets a little bit of, like, oh, I'm going to do, like, this amazing fight. Everybody's like, you should be happy, but slowly throughout the film, you just see him, like,
I mean, it was.
It starts
there
to
it is.
wear
There's
on him.
the realistic part of.
And the more that
what am I doing?
he sees, like, the fight getting closer and closer, he's like, I've got no shot. I just need to, I just need to last, man. I just got to last.
Yeah.
Oh, do you have a fact about what it's based off of?
The actual Rocky guy?
Mhm.
Yeah. No.
Oh, okay.
Do you have anything?
Well, it was we looked it up last night after we watched it. Because I'm pretty sure he, like, that poster looks like oh, Rocky, whatever his name was. That was the real boxer.
Mhm. Yeah.
And
I actually did a paper on this. I tried to find it so I could get all my facts, but
it was I don't remember exactly
couldn't.
the name, but we looked up another photo, and I think it was the Rocky guy punching some guy, and it was mid punch, and his face looked like it was melting. And she showed me the photo of what the guy looked like without his face getting punched. Like, God, that punch messed his face up.
like you saw it mid, like, well,
Yeah.
I mean, have y'all seen, y'all
Those-
seen, like slow mo, like super slow motion, like slaps and stuff like
I've
that?
seen that with other boxers punch
Just
people
the
in the face.
shockwave going through their face.
Because there used to be a super popular YouTube channel where they would do that. They just super high speed cameras and they just show things exploding or being hit
Yeah.
in slow motion.
That stuff is awesome.
It ruled. I loved it. So this is one of my favorite facts. The ice rink scene was originally written to feature 300 extras, but the production couldn't afford so many people. With Sylvester Stallone.
They could also only afford one pair of skates.
Yeah, right. Oh, wow, that's awesome. When Sylvester Stallone turned up to shoot the scene, to his horror, there was only one extra, so Stallone hastily threw together the scene as it exists in the completed film. This scene has become one of the most popular in the entire Rocky saga, and I agree because it's sweet and hilarious.
Yes, ridiculous.
It's just funny because he's running and she's just like, she's trying to stay slow, but then he'll start running, getting a little faster, and then she's like, oh God. But I like it because, you know, she's starting to come out of her. She's like starting to finally talk a little bit more. She's becoming a little more comfortable.
You mean,
And I don't know, and
someone here to protect me
this
from
is a
my
perfect
abusive brother?
this is a perfect Valentine's Day movie because it's a love
Oh.
story in reality.
We'll talk about
That's
the
why
love
the-
story later.
That's why the ending of the movie is all about he didn't care about anything. He just
Yeah.
wanted his girl.
It's girl.
I swear to God, you keep making faces over there. I'm gonna be Apollo over here.
You
Okay.
want a rematch?
So in the film, the poster above the ring before Rocky fights Apollo shows Rocky wearing red shorts with a white stripe when he actually wears white shorts with a red stripe. This was an actual mistake made by the props department that they could not afford to rectify, so Sylvester Stallone came up with the idea for the scene where Rocky points out the mistake himself. The comment about Rocky's robe being too baggy came about the same way. The robe delivered the set was far too baggy for Stallone, so rather than hope people wouldn't notice, the character himself simply points it out.
Nice.
Well, cool.
I love that. Love
Point
it.
out the flaws, and they're not going to be like, oh, okay, cool.
Oh man, I guess we should have probably talked a little bit more about Carl Weathers. We just kind of went straight into the facts.
Yeah.
But,
Coral.
Well, we mentioned like
Coral.
other movies that we just mentioned. The Mandalorian he was in, you know, R.I.P. Carl Weathers.
Well, everybody's in Star Wars now, so
Do you think Carl
Yeah,
Weathers
very
was
true.
the inspiration for Happy Gilmore when his coach?
that is Carl Weathers.
That is Carl Weathers?
Yes,
Yes.
it is.
Oh.
It's like one of
Then
his most
yes.
famous.
I thought it was just supposed to look like it.
He's
Okay.
the
He did a really good job of looking
Yeah,
like him.
it's pretty good.
just tap it in. Just tap it in. Go home, ball.
You're the one who stole his hand.
And then he's Dylan. You son of a bitch.
That was
Yeah,
my girlfriend had the
it's
same moment. I was like,
Predator.
oh, yeah, it's so funny how he was in Predator, and she looked like, wait, because we just watched it, and she's sitting here. Was that him? Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, it was Carl
In all
Weathers.
his muscular
So good.
glory.
Ugh,
Yeah,
he's so great. In the second one, he's like in it a lot more, but
he is. Oh, cool.
yeah, because the second one's just the rematch.
Shows you hello.
There's gonna be no rematch, and then it has the famous ending where the two of them are like let's
About to hit
let's
each-
have our third fight, and they're doing it alone, and then you get the classic ding ding, and then they go and they both throw a punch, and then it freeze frames on them. That classic thing.
Okay.
Cool.
A lot of classic scenes that you don't realize what they're from. Oh, we watched because like that moment of like when you see parodies of it,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize which is very off topic. I watched Can't Hardly Wait.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen it?
Mhm.
I did not realize that's like where Not Another Teen Movie gets most
Yeah,
of
that's
its
where it gets
parodies.
all-
And
like,
that
all of
movie,
it.
that's another thing I'll mention. It's funny because how Rocky is with Adrian was very weird, and the main character in Not Another Teen Movie, I was like, I like everybody else's story, but he's a creepy stalker.
Are you just telling me that like Rocky's a creepy stalker?
It's just funny when you go back and you realize like where the parody comes from. When
Oh,
you've
gotcha,
seen it so
yeah,
many
yeah.
times.
Yeah.
Couple of red flags though.
Did
would
you like
say.
Can't Hardly Wait?
I
What's
did-
better, this or Can't Hardly Wait?
Rocky.
Okay. I was gonna say because you're out of the house.
I'm just tired of my girlfriend like showing me these old movies, and every one of them is someone trying to have sex with someone who's either a step sibling.
A pie.
Yes,
Are you talking about
was
Cruel
Paul Rudd.
Intention?
cruel intentions.
Cruel
Oh my
Intentions.
god! I, was like,
Oh,
I
nuts.
looked at her and said, "Why is it every movie that you've liked has someone?"
Why do you think we have the porn we do? Okay.
I-
It's our
that
generation
make-
making it.
I guess so. Jesus Christ, I cannot stand.
We grew up with rom-coms where it's like, hey, what if I bone my
I already thought it was
stepsister?
very weird already with the Paul Rudd movie, whatever movie that one was.
No, most romantic comedies are problematic.
like Rocky, because it's a slightly romantic. Action
We'll get
sport
to the
movie.
factoid on why that scene is the way
It's
it
his
is.
way of defending it. That's how I was like, well,
I literally
he's
have
one
a-
of those people that's like, well, she shouldn't have been walking down and looking like that.
Wow, it's crazy. You see, you're pissing off God. That's why the storm's coming. Okay, that's why our house is about to blow away.
That's just because I'm here.
All right, let's get to some facts with Carl Weathers. During his audition, Carl Weathers was sparring with Sylvester Stallone and accidentally punched him on the chin. Stallone told Weathers to calm down as it was only an audition, and Weathers said that if he was allowed to audition with a real actor, not a stand-in, he would be able to do a lot better. The director, John
Damn.
G. Avildsen, smiled and told Weathers that Stallone was the real actor and the writer. Weathers looked at Stallone thoughtfully for a moment and said, well, maybe he'll get better. Stallone immediately offered him the role.
That's great. I love it.
Yeah, I know. I love that too. And then the next one, Sylvester Stallone and Carl Weathers suffered injuries during the shooting of the final fight. Stallone suffered bruised ribs and Weathers suffered a damaged nose, the opposite injuries of what the characters actually had. Just fun.
Interesting.
Wait, did Rocky break his nose in this one?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like a round 1 or 2. He's like, oh, my nose is broke.
Oh.
And then
I just focus on
then
his
Mickey's
eyes
like,
so much.
Or no, Mickey's like, your nose is broke. It's an improvement. I feel like I'm doing a better Nick Nolte than a Mick.
Yeah.
So, the iconic shot of Rocky running up the steps of the Philadelphia Art Museum came about because of Garrett Brown. The Philadelphia native had recently invented the Steadicam, which is like a big deal.
It is very.
And he was preparing to fly to Los Angeles and try to sell it. He shot some test footage following people around corridors, but he wanted to shoot something that even the most experienced filmmakers would look at and wonder how he did it. He had his girlfriend run up and down the museum steps while he followed close behind. Using that footage, Brown sold the camera on his first day in Los Angeles. Several months later, the director saw the footage and felt similar type of shot would be perfect for this film. He hired Brown and the Steadicam, and several months after running up the steps filming his girlfriend, he was running back up the steps filming Sylvester Stallone.
Was this also like the camera they used in Halloween? Because wasn't that like one of the facts about that? Like how they did the steady shot of like following through the house, like one clean long shot?
Yeah.
Man,
Same
those.
guy. It's the same guy.
Oh.
I believe.
nice.
I think I remember that correctly.
Just,
If not,
I wish we had cool
nobody beat me.
movie things coming out like that now. Because you imagine going to the theater and be like, look at that cool new way they shot it. Now it's just like, look at this cool new green screen we got.
Well,
we
actually,
got drones.
actually,
I guess.
most filmmakers now are doing that. Like Ang Lee, like every film he does is like a brand new camera.
He's just taking
Michael Bay does that. Christopher Nolan with the IMAX, like he did that. Zack Snyder did a lot with IMAX cameras, like revolutionizing it and stuff.
yeah, but IMAX.
And then he got James Cameron with his.
I would say though, like
IMAX
IMAX
3D
is like
stuff.
only as experience you can get if you go to IMAX. If you're watching Rocky, you can see with a steady cam.
Yeah.
Everybody, more of a general audience, because not
Yeah.
everybody goes to IMAX. Like
Yeah, I mean, I guess now it's mainly drones. I mean, you have ambulance,
LA ants.
ants.
Just like fan force stick.
See, it's because like they're in LA, and LA is
you
in
can keep
ambulance.
looking like we don't know. We got it.
I just need to make sure people know how crazy
What's-
that is.
What are you talking about?
Nothing. Don't worry about it. The movie Ambulance with Jake Gyllenhaal, and he's like, they're robbing.
They
Oh
rob-
yeah, where they're doing a lot of drugs and they're robbing people.
No, they're just
Oh.
robbing a bank, right?
I mean,
I watched
he
a
definitely,
different movie.
he
They
definitely
get
was.
caught-
He
or
definitely
they're
was
getting
on
caught
drugs.
in an ambulance, and it's in LA. So like the logo is like LA is
Oh,
emphasized.
Oh,
Because it took place in ambulance, and LA is in the word ambulance.
Yes. Interesting.
Do you guys get it?
Moving on.
Moving on. You can edit that.
According to Burt Young, during filming of the scene where Polly walks home drunk, an actual drunk wandered onto location and told Young
No.
he wasn't acting drunk convincingly. So Young asked the man to demonstrate. Young then copied the man's actions for the scene.
So I always think it's funny when you see like those scenes where people are like trying to pretend like they're drunk.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, if I was ever an actor, I would at least try it once to be like, can I get a little tipsy to try and lean into it, or would I just ruin the shot?
I don't know. That's method.
I want to be that method to see if it would work. I'm not going to be Jared Leto method and sending use condoms and dead rats to people.
No, don't do that. That's bad.
All right, so this is going to be the last thing I say. So this is for the scene of Rocky and Adrian and their kiss. The scene in which Rocky and Adrian kiss in Rocky's kitchen wasn't scripted the way it was shot. Adrian, Talia Shire, had the flu and was worried about getting Sylvester Stallone sick. Her hesitation was an improvement over the scripted scene, and they decided to keep it. The scene has become Stallone's favorite scene in the entire Rocky saga.
We need to look at Stallone's history like Vince McMahon right now.
What do you mean, bro?
How do you like that scene? I watched that scene and I was like, this is so uncomfortable.
I know it really made me feel.
And I was like,
icky.
Jesse's got to hate this scene, right? And it was not a comfortable scene. I was like, I do not like him right now in this moment. This is very, I know we're supposed to do. And in the moment, like you saying that emphasized to me, like, because she was so standoffish. It's like, maybe if she kind of was leaning more into it. I know she couldn't, but it was
She couldn't because she was being pressed against the door.
Yes, exactly. Like, come on, just come on in. Just come,
Yeah,
come on,
I'm
in.
not.
Come
She's
on
like,
in.
you can come with me into my apartment, or you can just like walk home in the dark and downtown.
Yes,
Philadelphia.
exactly. Like, well, I need to call my brother. I'll come real quick. It just made me feel like he's like, look, nobody gonna come save you.
No,
That's not how it's supposed to come off.
no, I
She
guess
was just
not.
supposed to be shy and standoffish, but she wanted to be with Rock. But Rocky's kind of a dumb goof who's just like, "What do you mean you want to leave? Come on, I know
Go
that you
look
you
at my
like me.
turtles."
Come on,
That
you like
scene
my
also,
turtles."
I was looking in the background, and man, his apartment is. This guy's like, come sit down on my couch. He just moved newspapers aside. I was like, okay, that's a
Yeah,
little
when she
dirty.
first, as soon as she walks in, she's like, "It's trash." But I love later in the film when she moves in with him. It's like it's cleaned up. She's got
Spotless, yeah.
decorations everywhere. She put
Well, he
little
had
pictures
like,
of them.
I understand, sometimes maybe not decorate a lot, but he had beer bottles in the couch cushions.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
That's so gross.
Couch beer.
They were empty bottles just
Free-
turned upside down.
Ew.
And I was like, your couch smells like beer. He's like, I'll drink all the beer out of it. Like, no, man.
Oh man, I bet
Yeah,
everything.
because-
Everything in the 70s and 80s smelled horrible.
He's
I always
he's-
think about that.
He's just a loner who just
It's the Stallone.
gets beat up. Who gets beat up all the time. I don't know.
You ever think about that? Like, what he said is anytime you go back and look in the 70s and stuff, everybody's smoking. It's like, man, just everywhere you go, it probably smelled like cigarette.
Yeah.
If you
pretty
weren't
much.
a smoker then, it just awful times.
And you know what? I love when people smoke in movies. It
Yeah,
just
they look
makes-
cool,
They
but-
look so cool, and it makes you want a cigarette, even though smoking's bad. Vape
Don't smoke,
instead.
kids.
Don't smoke, kids. Okay. Okay. So let me run down through this cast real quick before we hop into the film. You got Sylvester Stallone as Rocky, Talia Shire as Adrian, Burt Young as Paulie, Carl Weathers as Apollo, Burgess Meredith as Mickey, and that's kind of like, the main people. We'll probably stop there. But yeah, so that's it. And it was directed by John G. Avildsen. Avildsen, whatever. I actually looked up his movies, and other than like some of the Rocky movies, I've never seen any of them. It has to be probably the director I know the least that has won Best Director at an Academy
Wow.
as an Oscar.
Avelstein.
And also this movie,
Ovaltine?
this movie won. Well, it was nominated for so many Oscars. Had a budget of $1.1 million and made over 200 million. I think it's like
Dang.
225 million.
So,
And he got a cut of the profit.
Nice.
does this, that's interesting to see like a sport movie like Rocky to make me think that it won something for director. Because like, would Creed win anything like that now? Do you feel like
I mean,
sport
Ryan
movies?
Coogler was nominated for Best Director.
Oh, okay.
Creed was nominated for
I
Best
just feel like
Picture.
I don't really see like a lot of sport movies get nominations, but we don't really get sport movies anymore.
Yeah, we don't get a lot, and they're usually all pretty mid, and they just kind of copy Rocky.
Yeah, I would
Like
love to
Creed.
see.
Like
Yeah.
every single boxing movie you see, you'd be like, oh, so we're just doing.
I'd
We
love to
don't-
see
we're doing a type of Rocky.
more. If there's going to be more boxing movies, like have like a Mike Tyson type, like
What, cocky or something? Or?
or no, just like a black guy.
Well,
Okay.
you got Creed. You got
Creed,
the
okay, I haven't
you got the
seen Creed.
Ali film.
The
That,
Olive, yeah.
that one's
That's
okay.
Will
There's
Smith,
just not a
right?
lot.
Will Smith is really good in it, but
Man,
the movie's a little too long. It's Michael Mann who did Heat, Thief, and Collateral, but Will Smith's got a really great.
That
performance
would
in
like
that.
it if they made a Mike Tyson movie though. That would be fucking hilarious.
I think they made a TV show. I think on Hulu or something.
You talking about the
like
cartoon
Mike,
where
or
Norm
no?
Macdonald is a pigeon? And,
No.
Oh, okay.
No, it's something that came on.
It's a funny cartoon.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
All right, boys.
R.I.P. Norm Macdonald.
On my whenever I watch Instagram reels, like he pops up all the time on there, and he just has this. He always has like a huge long story that it's like, okay, there's gonna be a joke here
He
somewhere,
really wasn't
and I
that
have.
funny.
No, he was hilarious.
In movies, I think
he
he was
just
funnier.
he'd take like 5 minutes to tell a story, and he'd be like, "Where's the joke in this?" And then he just add that last line. And you'd be like, "This is the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life."
You gotta wait for the delivery. You
It's just-
kids, and see how you say that? The reels is just TikTok. Our attention span can't hold on
No,
for a minute.
it's just because it's the way he talks. It's also just he'll just be saying like the most random, like drawn out story, and then it just becomes the funniest thing ever because he was a freaking genius at joke.
Yeah, I
telling.
guess so.
All right, boys, y'all ready?
Do
Y'all ready to get into the ring?
No, let me be me a little more.
it.
Hey, Rocky or whatever. Okay, so you get the Rocky theme. over the Rocky credits. You know, cool.
Big giant white letters.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Rocky theme, one of the best themes in the world.
Yeah, I mean, it's known.
Dun,
can't
dun,
not
dun,
know.
I
I
dun,
couldn't
dun, dun,
sing it
dun,
for
dun,
you.
dun, 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 dun,
Oh, that
dun,
one.
dun, dun,
Yes.
dun, dun. Come on, it's like the best. Gets me pumped up. When I used to watch these movies, they used to always come on AMC, like the marathon,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it'd run for the whole weekend.
Nice.
Dude, I'd watch like all of them in a row
That's sweet.
multiple times. I'd skip 5. I've only seen parts of 5. It's just not good.
What's 5? Is that the one where he fights a robot?
No,
Fights himself.
no, that's 4. No, 4's the
Oh,
one there's a
what?
robot, but he doesn't fight the robot.
He fights the xenomorph
Paulie
of himself.
Paulie just has like a robot house cleaner or something like that. It's
Oh, that makes. I love how you look. That's crazy. There wasn't a robot in the 5th one. It was in the 4th one.
well, so most people prefer the 4th one just because that's where it's like, oh, Rocky is like campy, cheesy. We
Oh.
fight in the Russians. So I will break
yeah.
you.
If he dies, he dies.
Because like slowly after 2, like 3 gets a little silly, then 4 goes all out, then 5 becomes this weird like street fight drama with like his kid or whatever or something.
Street fright, like he
Right.
scared him.
And then you got Rocky Balboa where he's like, I'm old, but I can still fight. It ain't about how many times you get knocked down. It's about getting back up or something.
This geriatric boxing. Oh, God, that'd be pitiful.
All right, so we start off with a small-time boxing match with Rock. Rock is just taking punches.
His arms are just behind him, I think.
Yeah. He's just like getting hit in the face. It's like, why don't you put your hands up? Coach wants him to start doing something. Rock gets headbutted and then goes to town on the guy and wins. I guess you just got to get him pissed off. I don't know. He just needed to get
if you're gonna
headbutted.
get punched, would be all right. It's like, dang, Rocky, what was your childhood like? Well, you're getting hit all the time.
Yeah.
This scene's great though because it's it's like small time boxing and it doesn't seem like they really care as much about the rules because they're just like straight up punching each other like while in the corner and in the ropes and stuff.
Yeah, I don't really know the rules of boxing,
Well,
except
I know
I
you
know
have
you
to-
can't headbutt.
Yeah, you
No,
can't
yeah, definitely
headbutt
not.
and then
Except that hurts a lot. Have you ever been headbutted by somebody for real?
By accident, not like
headbutted
intentional.
I've done headbutts with objects accidentally
I-
at work all the time.
I headbutt my cat lovingly.
Oh, I was
well,
like
they
very
probably headbutt
soft.
you back.
Yeah.
just sitting there doing a flying headbutt
Yeah.
from the couch
From across
onto the
the
cat.
I remember headbutting whatever it was, the shred head at work.
Oh.
And that's when I busted my head
Oh,
open.
Dude,
Ow.
it sucks how often.
Yeah,
I
when I
headbutt
first
myself at
started,
work.
that's all I ever did. I was just not like having earmuffs on. Wasn't just not used to like the extra,
Mhm.
not being aware. I hit my head so many times.
Yeah, so many times I bump like my earmuffs
Yes.
and because my glasses we have those
Oh,
protectors
yeah.
on the glasses. So many times I'm turning, I'm just like popping things. I'm like, I didn't realize I was that close because my peripheral vision's a little messed up with these things on.
I don't know who.
And then
it was
my
who used to work
hairnet's
there.
always seen a little bit.
would flick like the crap out of my earmuffs, and that was just like an instant of
Oh.
like I'm ready to fight.
That is fighting words.
Man, do y'all hear that? It's a collective. Who cares coming from the world right now?
Now them blue collar workers,
Yeah.
don't
It's like, come on,
appreciate
dude.
Dare
We
to shine.
we've factory workers here. Except old white collar job over here now.
I'm sorry.
IT guy.
Don't move me because I got fame.
So after the fight, Rocky walks out. We hear a woman calling Rocky a bum. It's kind of the theme of the movie. We see back in the locker room, his opponent said that Rocky got lucky. We learned that he earned $455, but because of all the fees, like
Yeah.
shower fee, Locker fee.
corner
That's
fee, and
horrible.
stuff.
booking fee, he only made like $40 or $60.
Why do they keep calling Rocky a bum? Like he's working, he's fighting. I don't. Is it just
Yeah,
like this? Is you
I think
just suck.
it's the way he fights. He's just been fighting for so long and going nowhere.
Yeah.
I mean, he's won 40 fights and like lost 20 or something like that.
Well, I loved
Oh.
his coach that was in the corner. He's like, "Hey, you want some advice?"
Yeah,
He's like, "Just give me the water.
just give me the
Hey, I
water.
could give you some advice." No.
No, it
No,
takes us 5
I just want to
weeks.
get hit in the face. I'm not smart.
Yeah.
So could we say in this moment with Rocky, he had the potential, but no, coach took the chance on him. If they just did that, he could have been.
Yeah, him.
He could have been a contender.
If Mickey worked with him, he might have
He
been
could have
something.
been crapping thunder.
Eating lightning crap
from
from
the
thunder.
beginning.
I grabbed some thunder later. So Rocky is walking home. We see him playing with some puppies.
When it punches the toilet.
Yeah. So Rocky, he's playing with some puppies, walking home. Some people just laying down some bars on the street. Rocky's very friendly with them. He's got those hoodlums out in the streets of Philadelphia just doing some acapella.
What was because he walked by those people and they offered him a beer. He takes a sip and just spits it out. I was like, why did he? Then I saw the light of the red. And like, oh, he's still spitting out blood.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the worst urine I've ever had.
But essentially, we're just trying to see that, like, oh, he's a good guy. He likes puppies. He's friendly with everybody he knows.
I feel like we don't have that anymore. It's like, wait, you want to talk in live or on Snapchat?
Yeah. You mean you just don't go to your local street acapella group and just go hang out with them a little bit?
I mean, I know we had that movie. What was the acapella movie?
Pitch Perfect.
Pitch Perfect.
Oh, I haven't seen
It
that.
just showed you how annoying they were.
It's
It made them not cool anymore.
So we are in Rocky's apartment. It's pretty beaten down. Rock talks to his turtles and his fish. He practices a speech about turtle food into the mirror, and then he starts staring at a picture of a kid.
Oh, I was like, why is he just saying this? And he keeps.
It's because every day he goes to Adrian and tell her a joke.
Okay.
I'm gonna do the mouth,
Yeah.
get stuck in his throat.
And then he goes to lay down and ices his head. Next day, we see Rock. He's at the pet store. We see Adrian for the first time. Rock starts trying to make conversation with her about the turtle food. He's trying to get her to laugh. They have the weird relationship.
So in that scene, I feel like I could tell more in that scene that it felt like she was just like very shy. At first, I thought like she was working with her mom, but you could tell even her, she was like, Rocky, you need to get out of here and stop bothering her because you distract her. In that moment, I felt like it was more of like, you could tell she's interested. It's like, if we had that kind of energy in the other scene, I would have been like, you could tell she's just like,
Well, no, through this, you're supposed to see because she's like constantly like staring at him like she does like him. The other girl, I think it's just like Rocky comes in so much and she's just like, oh my gosh, he's going to be in here forever telling stupid jokes and playing with it. So it's like, Adrian, go downstairs so he'll get out of here because he annoys me type of thing. Because no one likes Rocky.
Which is very rude.
Right.
Like, what's
He's
wrong?
a
He seems like a good guy.
Well,
He's
people,
a guy.
as long as like he doesn't talk to you for too long, but I think it's one of the things where everybody's like, man, this guy's so dumb. I wish he'd get out of here.
There's someone I remember from the old job that reminded me of that.
The old.
Don't say names.
No.
They might listen.
But it was funny because that guy was like, oh, yeah, like if you watch it, Rocky's got some issues, obviously. And then I watched the movie and I thought back to him talking on it like, oh, yeah, that's you.
So then we see Rocky goes down to just some docks. He's chasing a guy and threatening him. He's collecting money from him because I guess he's like a heavy for the mob guy. Gazzo, whatever.
Gonzo. You
No,
don't mess with Gonzo.
It's Gazzo. It's Gazzo.
Okay, who's Gonzo?
You, if you don't stop ruining the podcast. Got it!
I think it just shows your lack of Muppet knowledge.
Gonzo. I know who Gonzo is from the Muppets.
You about to be Gonzo.
You got that big old nose. So the guy doesn't have enough money, but Rock's like, I'll have to break you. I'll have to break your fingers if you don't get the rest of it. But he doesn't actually do it, and then he walks away because
So
he's a nice guy and he doesn't want to hurt people.
did you?
Unless
He's a
in the
boxer.
ring. Unless he's in the ring.
I don't know what it is about breaking thumbs, but it cracked me up because I was watching season 2 of Righteous Gemstones.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So you know John Goodman's character. I was
yeah.
like, what is with the thumb thing? I mean, it makes sense because they can still do stuff, but I just imagine it because he's holding him too, like his arms crossed, kind of like, don't break my thumbs, and just like John Goodman in here too.
God, I love that show. That show's so good.
good.
So he meets with his boss and gets paid by him. Rocks puts on some silly glasses. I love when he puts on those glasses. They're huge, they're like see-through, and he just looks so silly. I love it. Mob guy talks to Rock. He's asking why he didn't break the guy's thumb. Mob guy just wants him to do what he tells him to do. Rock gets no respect from the driver, who's just a complete douche to him.
He is.
Because people don't like
say that mob guy seems very nice.
Yeah,
For a
he's-
mob guy, like I want you to break it, but don't hurt yourself, Rocky. Hurt them.
I thought that was kind of a joke. Like, it didn't seem like it was supposed to be mean, but he said it mean. He's like, did you get the license plate for that truck that ran over your face? I thought that was kind of funny.
No, that's hilarious.
It was.
But like, he was really upset about it.
Yeah, because I'm assuming it's just like the type of guy that just constantly ribs him for being dumb,
I
and
guess.
stuff like that. So he
Imagine
just
now,
hates him.
though, they would be like, did y'all the scandal about Rocky Balboa being a former worker for the mob and would beat people up? I'm like,
Sounds legit.
Well, every small time boxer, I think that's just what they did back in the day. I
Yeah,
don't
it's
know.
just
gotta make money.
moonlight.
Like,
Gotta
that's
make
what
money.
happened with that's how Daredevil's dad. He was a boxer and he's always getting paid by like Kingpin and stuff.
Exactly. That real life story like that. Yeah.
Give you examples and you just hate on them
Bro,
every time.
you're about to be gonzo.
Can't even do anything on your own.
Okay, so he goes to the boxing gym to train. And he goes into the locker room. There's a no kissing sign randomly in the background. It's hilarious.
For real?
Yeah.
I did not notice
Yeah.
that.
That's
That was
awesome.
the first thing I noticed. I was like, no kissing. That's funny. Rocky is struggling to remember his locker combination and then eventually just breaks the lock off and then sees someone else's stuff in there.
That cracked me up. So I was like, okay, Rocky, are you that dumb? You don't know
And
what
I
it
love
is?
that he puts his
Yes.
combination in his hat and he just wears it around everywhere.
Oh, my God.
We
You
learned
just
that
don't do it.
Mickey bagged all his stuff and put it on Skid Row. And we learned that Rocky's been there for like 6 years.
I still was like, man, Mickey's a dick to him.
Yeah, he is. But he
He's
don't
just
take no
he's a
crap, man. I
businessman.
mean, hey, if you got to like, teach boxers how to do, you got to have some tough skin. And he also was a boxer and probably is missing half his brain cells. So.
Yes.
So Rocky talks to Mick. Mick tells Rocky that a contender needed his locker. Mick thinks he's a bum and that he should think about retiring. You're a bum! Poor Rock.
And then that guy
bad.
in the ring was like, I really like your locker.
Yeah.
Oh, gross. I
Some
bet it
nice
smelled.
space. Some nice real estate there.
Jesus.
Never see him again.
Yep. So Rocky goes back to see Adrian. It's like later that night. Rock is trying to ask Adrian out, but she isn't talking at all because she's very shy. He tries to walk her home, but she refuses. He goes to a bar to meet Polly. There's a drunk guy outside the bar, and he just like picks him up and like, hey, you're drunk too? Hang out
Well,
together.
it's showing how nice he is. He doesn't want to leave him
Yeah.
out in the cold.
He
Like,
doesn't wanna leave him out in
Rocky,
the
you a good guy.
cold.
I don't know why people be calling you a bum.
Yeah, he's just
They just don't know him.
it's like he's not smart enough to be mean.
He's just a good guy.
Well, he's
Everyone
just-
hates on him for
Well, I
it.
also think he just has like a lot of sympathy. He's a very sympathetic guy. Like
Mhm.
whenever he yells at somebody, he's immediately like, "Oh, I shouldn't have done that." It's just he let his
I
let his fighter
empathy
come out first.
maybe
Yeah,
is what
empathy,
you're looking for.
sympathy, and empathy. I don't know,
Yeah.
a little bit boo. We learned that Paulie is Adrian's brother. He's complaining about Adrian not accepting Rock's advances. It's like her body's gonna dry up.
Oh,
She doesn't
gross.
use it.
Yeah,
It's
I was
like,
like,
Polly-
oh, here we go.
We can say you don't say anything about Rock
It's gonna
because
be a
the
raisin.
true villain of this movie is Paulie. He's
Yeah,
the true
he's
villain.
horrible.
Yes, he was awful.
He's
God.
a villain in like every single movie.
I
that
just
he's
kept
in.
seeing
He's-
him. I'm like, man, Rocky, just lay him out
Yeah,
once.
because Polly is super mean about his sister. He thinks she's a loser. Polly wants to work for Rock's boss Gazzo. Polly invites Rock over for Thanksgiving. It's like, oh, does Adrian know I'm coming? Yeah, she knows that you're coming.
Yeah, she's super
Yeah, sure,
excited
she
about
can't
it.
I
wait.
didn't know that he tried to take her out on a date on Thanksgiving. I'm like, dude, Rocky.
Well, I think all it was supposed to be was just, I thought it was just supposed to be they're coming over for Thanksgiving dinner, but
Yeah.
Polly just wanted, I guess, the house alone
He
so he
wanted
could
to,
crank
so
it.
he
I
could
don't
eat
know.
Oh,
raw
well, he kept-
turkey.
Yeah,
He
right.
kept sitting there talking about like I
It's
couldn't
wild.
get married because he like who are you gonna marry,
Yeah,
man?
that
It's
was her
worse than
fault,
them.
Paulie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like goodbye, Paulie.
Oh, I love that scene though. Whenever Adrian's just like,
What is he projecting his
Ah,
own problems
screwed
onto
it.
her?
yeah, pretty much. He's just blaming everything on her, even though she kind of is running the entire
Yeah,
house.
she's holding it together.
Paulie's just yelling at her constantly. So we see on the TV at the bar, we see Apollo Creed. Creed has a championship match coming up. Be a thinker, not a stinker. Barkeep thinks Creed is a clown, and Rock takes offense because he's the champion. Got to respect the champion.
Why would you think he's a clown?
You can still be a clown and
Well,
be a
it's
champion.
just the classic thing of like
Number
just
one, you
people
gotta
being
have
like,
haters.
"Oh, man, the fighters back in the day, they were the real stuff." I mean, people say that now about
Yeah,
like Mike Tyson and stuff. Like, "Oh, that was the good days. That was when we actually had boxers." And it's just, well, I mean, now boxing is kind of becoming like a dead sport, and like
yeah,
YouTubers are,
UFC has took over.
well, and like YouTubers
blood sport.
are now the main draw to like boxing and stuff, which is
Yeah.
wild. Especially after like Mayweather kind of got out. You don't ever hear about boxing unless it's like
know.
YouTubers doing it,
Yeah.
which is weird.
Oh my god, that's what you're talking about.
So on his way home, he sees a girl hanging out with some rapscallions. He tells her to come with her because she's too young and cussing too much. He's trying to convince her not to talk bad and not smoke. says he doesn't want her to become a whore. And then after all this, it's like this.
He didn't call her a whore. He's like, there's a certain girl you just don't want to be.
Well, no,
stop
but
respecting you.
he's saying like, hey, there's this girl that like I knew back in the day. She talked like that, and they're all just gonna eventually think that you're a whore because of the way that you talk.
I thought that was a big leap, just to be like, she's just being a little crass, and I was like, it just makes you a whore.
Well, it's just I don't know. It's like,
but
his
his reasoning was like, they're not going to take you serious, and you want a serious boyfriend. They don't take you serious. They're not going to want you. I got to stop trying to keep doing it.
But I love it because after this whole thing, she's like, okay, Rocky. She goes up to her thing. Hey, Rocky, screw you, creepo.
Well,
It
she still
reminded me of
went with him,
Halloween a
though.
little bit.
It did.
Just because that part where the Michael Myers drives past real fast. Hey, creepo, speed kills. It just reminded me of that.
Oh, man.
So we're with Creed now for the first time. His championship match is canceled because the contender broke his hand. They need a new contender. They have no one for him to fight, but Apollo Creed comes up with an idea to have a local fighter to fight as a novelty. Promoter loves it. Creed is a very smart entertainer, but he's also a little too cocky.
So the guy couldn't fight because he broke his hand.
Mm-hmm.
Wonder if he was punching raw meat.
Bro, Rocky didn't break his
Bones.
hand. They would have said he broke his hand, okay? Not everybody just breaks their hand all the time.
Keep going.
Rocky's got some bum hands, They're just nothing but like swollen welts on him, so he
Just,
doesn't feel it. I don't know.
dried leather and
Yeah. So Rocky's with his mob boss. He's confusing his like the hits that he's supposed to go take because he writes everything down. He's like, hey, so I got to do this for this guy, this for that guy. He's like, no, it's completely wrong. But then the boss hears about his date with Adrian that night. And I put date in quotations.
yes.
The driver insults Adrian. It's like, hey, she's special. You should take her to the zoo because special people like zoos. And he's
They
like,
sure do.
They're so
gonna kill you.
rude, these people. I'm like, God, you
know.
guys are awful.
So we're back with Creed. Creed is looking for his next contender. They're like looking through a book of like fighters or whatever. And we learn that Creed, he's just looking for a good name to put on the poster to sell a fight.
Oh.
He finds Rocky's like
He's
fight
like,
card.
yeah, I could kill that guy.
And then like,
With a punch.
yeah, this guy, has lost like 20 matches. That should be all right with him. But we learned that Rocky is called the Italian Stallion. Apollo Creed meets the Italian Stallion. Sounds like a damn monster movie. I love it. That was great. Oh, I freaking
Or is
love
that like
Creed
the
in
name
this.
of like a porn actor?
Oh, hey, Jason, did you know that Sylvester Stallone was in porn before doing Rocky?
Oh yeah, that's right.
I've never seen him in porn, but I saw someone that was.
He only did like one movie.
Yeah, well, I saw a porn. The very first porn I ever watched was a guy named Rambone.
Cool. That's like you just specifically. Is this
It all
specifically
ties
remember
together.
it? That's
Yeah, because
awesome.
I just remember all the bush hair and like because it was definitely from the 70s,
Yeah.
like 80s.
Something I never want to see. Sylvester Stallone in a porno. That's for sure.
Hey, won't you get down? on your
Hey,
knees?
this is a nice couch. Hey, nice couch. Nice couch. You want to have sex?
We're gonna have an interview for this.
It's my casting couch right here.
yeah. yeah.
So Rocky is going over to Paulie's. Paulie is still pushing Rock to work for his boss. Paulie keeps telling Rocky that Adrian knows he's coming. When he gets there, it's obvious she had no idea.
Yeah.
Because she's like super like I'm not even prepared for company.
Um,
So Paulie is pushing her to go out. He's a complete dick to her. Adrian says she
man.
can't go because she has a turkey in the oven. So what does he do? Takes the turkey and literally throws it out the
and
door.
then she's about to cry. I was like, I felt so bad for her. I was like, wow.
I know, like barehanded taking a turkey out of a hot
I'm
ass.
cooking
Yeah.
a turkey for us on Thanksgiving. Like, oh, and you just threw that out. I'd be so mad at you.
Right. And so for this scene, like their budget was so low and they were running out of money. So whenever he throws it out there, there's like 3 people there waiting to catch it just in case they need to reuse it.
So it was a real turkey.
Yeah, it was a real turkey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
She cries and then she runs to her room. You got Paulie with a giant turkey leg that's I'm only gonna assuming probably needed another hour or 2 to cook.
Yeah.
Paulie tells him to tell her a joke. He tries his best. Yo, Adrian, it's me, Rocky. He's sitting there like tickling the door with his finger.
Mhm.
I think it was great. Rocky at first he was like, at first he did the right thing. He's like, maybe I should go, or he should have punched Paulie, but whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's like, maybe I should go. She's not, but then Paulie's like, no, do it. And he's like, okay.
Give her that Rocky charm. Let me just go ramble by her door
Yeah.
until she's like, all right, I guess I'm going out. But I mean, she wants to go out with Rocky. I think this
She's
is
just
what
upset
this.
in this moment. He could see it.
This
but-
is just
Yeah.
she's like she didn't know,
Right.
so she's kind of upset. This is supposed to be like,
And it's kind of sweet that he did get her out of
but
the
if she
house.
truly didn't want to go, she probably would have stayed in her room. But we're supposed to.
I feel like also like Rocky's character is like trying to keep Paulie away from that life too. He's like, I don't want you to do it. That's why I'm not introducing you to him.
Yeah, exactly. Because I mean, he'd just get killed.
Yeah, immediately.
But yeah, so Rocky's being shy, feels weird about all this. He's bashfully asking her out through the door. But I don't know. I just feel like it's a really great performance by him at this
it's
point.
kinda
You're
sweet.
really just seeing the I don't know. You're just seeing
Keep
another.
going,
You're
folks.
seeing another version of Rock here, where it's like he just, I don't know. He's weak. I don't know.
Oh,
I don't
he's
know.
vulnerable.
He's
a little bit.
vulnerable.
There you go.
Yeah. Even like with a shy girl that like literally stands no threat to him. It's like it's intimidating for him still.
Yeah.
So they're off on their date. Adrian is very shy. They go to a skating rink and it's closed. He talks to the Zamboni driver to convince him to let him on the ice.
For 10 minutes.
He gives the guy $10 for 10 minutes. And I love throughout the film, like, it's almost like a one shot, but it seems like every 30 seconds, the guy's like, all right, 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Another 30 seconds. 2
It's-
minutes.
That's so annoying.
10 seconds later. All right, you're done. It's like, dude, chill.
And they're trying to skate.
It's Thanksgiving Day. I don't blame him for wanting to get out of there.
Well, shoot, he's there.
And what kind of psychopath walks? Why didn't he just get some skates?
He can't skate.
So
He's got to run on the ice.
it's so weird.
He doesn't want to embarrass
so
himself.
He
by
doesn't want
falling.
to fall and then possibly break his hand and
I
not
mean,
be able to fight.
I guess, yeah. He said it's bad for his weak ankles or something.
Yeah, something like that. He's got he doesn't have good footwork. So, but yeah, we see Adrian skating and Rocky's just running on the ice. It's very funny. We learned that all Rocky wanted to do was to prove that he's a good pro. He says that he struggled getting fights because he was a southpaw, which means he's left-handed, essentially.
I love how also whenever the guy's calling out the minutes, like as they're counting down, and they're just like seem to walk a little and skate a little bit faster. Like, gotta get all the date we can in. 10 minutes.
Go. We also have to talk faster.
So, all right, we've been on a date. I got out of the date. Now I can get it back to
That
my
was
place.
technically a date, right?
Yeah, it was a date, right? I don't know. Hey, right. But they're like kind of Adrian falls a little bit, and then we see that Rocky has dislocated his finger, and it pops in and out, and it's crazy. He tells her that his father said that he doesn't have much of a brain, so he needed to use his body, and Adrian's mother told her that the opposite, that she doesn't have much of a body, so she's got to use her brains. And then Rocky's like, hey, how about that? Whoa, hey, we're a perfect match. I got the body, you got the brains. They are walking the streets now. Rocky brings up her shyness. We make a real sharp couple of coconuts. I'm dumb, you're shy. God. I just feel like I'm going to win an Oscar for my performance today.
Bunch of coconuts.
So Adrian doesn't understand why anybody wants to fight. He says you have to be a real bum to do it. He says the worst part of fighting is the morning after. And then we start seeing Rocky is inviting her inside, but she's not sure if she wants to go. She's like, I'm not going to go up. But then eventually she goes in.
He's like, what choice do you have?
She could have walked. I mean, she could have just walked home.
Yep.
Yeah, at night,
She does that every day for her job.
she's not that far away though.
We don't know that.
You still don't. It's rude. It's still the
What,
implication
you
of
walk
saying
the paces?
you can go home if you want. You can go home.
She walks home by herself every day after her job.
It's not good though. You still want to, like, you're there already walking with her, and it's already laid out, and it's Thanksgiving, so she's out on alone, and there's just those rapscallions who come around that corner and start acapellaing her. She could end up in trouble.
That's true. She'll get.
She ends up part of the acapella
Yeah.
group.
Yo, Adrian, you had a whole life in front of you. Now you're singing a cappella.
Who's the dumb one
You
now?
could have been something. Now you're here on the streets as a bum. Our voices are getting worse at doing this
Yeah.
impression. So he's trying to convince her to come in, and that she can trust him. She's hesitantly decides to come in. They're inside. Adrian's looking at all the mess in his apartment. We learned that he bought his turtles the first day Adrian started working at the pet store. Boy, we've been playing that long game.
Yeah, stalking a little bit.
He invites her
don't
to
mention
sit on the
their names.
couch. It's a nice couch. I don't know. She is hesitant, but she wants to. She's hesitant, but she also wants to, but she's just kind of too shy and bashful. Adrian sees his kid picture that Rock was looking at the beginning. Because at first we're like, oh, is this like his younger brother that died or something? Is it him? It's obviously him. But Adrian wants to call Polly to tell her where she is. Tell him where she is. He yells out the window, "Hey, Polly, Adrian's over here. We're walking here."
Nobody to
Everything
protect you
just-
now, Adrian.
Whatever. Adrian says she doesn't belong here. She says she doesn't know him well enough. She tries to leave, but he blocks the door. He starts talking sweet to her and he eventually kisses her, and she starts kissing back. Creepy, but also kind of sweet.
It's like,
Mainly because you can tell she is into him, but she is shy.
it's like
That's
this
what I
is
wrote in
this is happening. You can kiss back if you want.
And then she's like, "Well, I have to. I'm gonna get punched out by a
Yeah,
boxer."
right.
I don't think he would have done anything. He's too nice of a guy to do anything.
Oh no, he just blocked her from leaving. She says, "I don't think I belong here. I need to go. I need to go." No, come on, come on, come
No,
on.
come on.
No, it really is. It is creepy. I do agree. Like, I think if it wasn't for the scenes later with them two together, this would have been
Because
terrible.
she has to be forced out of being shy.
No, I just think she's like, I don't know. She's like, oh, Rocky's a good guy. Rocky's a good guy.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know.
And I got all these
It's
pent up
just the
frustrations.
next
I'm
time
very
you
small and you're very large.
The next time you see the two together, it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, they love each
do
other.
love each other. It's great.
That scene just did not pull off well for me.
I would have kissed him too to just get out of there.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what she's trying to do. Then she
I
felt
don't
that
know,
Italian stallion. He's like, maybe I will stay.
No, I think as soon as she kissed, she's like, oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. Give me
She's,
that salami.
she was just playing bashful. She's actually a freak.
Yeah, you've never had a whole salami.
Shut up.
I'll show you how the
Seems like it.
sausage is made.
No, but definitely I feel like they could have made it a little less creepy or make her a little more like,
Into
oh,
it.
no, I actually like one of
Oh, what if she would have punched him in the balls? That would have been great.
I told you
Yeah.
I want to leave. Like, come on, Adrian. It's just stay on the couch.
like kicks them in the balls and then they like stare at each other and then
And
just
then-
start
and then make out.
viciously making out.
Yeah.
It's like, that's what he needed. So-
Are you here? Ding, ding.
Yeah. Rock goes back to the gym and he learns that Mickey's looking for him because he has something for him. Mick says Creed needs a sparring partner. Mick starts yelling at him, though, as he was like walking away. Rock wants to know why he doesn't like him. Rock, I've been coming here for 6 years. In 6 years, you've been sticking it to me. And I want to know how come. God, it's getting so bad.
Dang, Mickey.
You don't want to know. Rocky.
Yeah.
No, I want to know. How come? You want to know? I want to know. Okay, I'm going to tell you. You had the talent to become a good fighter, but instead of that, you become a leg breaker to some cheap second-rate loan shark.
yeah, I mean, it's not wrong. It's a living.
It's a living. It's a waste of life.
That's good.
So good.
It's getting raspier.
The Rock, yeah, it's good. Everything's getting worse. There's also all kind of coming together. It's the same voice, just raspier. He visits the promoter's office. Rocky thinks he's there to be a sparring partner, but the promoter tells him it's for the championship match. Rocky says no because he doesn't think it will be a good fight. Promoter says that America's the land of opportunity, and this is Rocky's chance. I mean, come on. This is a great setup.
It is.
This is
It's
awesome.
Good, but it's also like
I'm straight up
that wouldn't happen.
Pumped for
Yes.
this. Well, it's like the
Hell
Liberty
yeah.
Day, like
I mean,
thing.
the whole like marketing thing for it was great, but like, realistically, like this dude's gonna throttle him.
Hey, you never know. Some people just don't get their chance. Some people
Let's go.
also want it more because, I mean, once we get to the fight later, Creed thinks it's going to be a cakewalk. He's playing around with him, and then he quickly gets hit in the face, and he's like, oh, crap.
yes.
This
That was
this
fucking
guy
awesome.
can hit hard.
Yeah.
What was it? He underestimated him, and
Yeah.
that whole like you're a big boss and you never forget. Like even though you're the top dog, there's always gonna be another one to come take that spot.
Yeah. Exactly. So we see on TV, Creed says anybody has a chance to win. Rocky, Adrian, and Polly, they're all watching together. Adrian seems very close and comfortable with Rock now. Rocky is also on TV with Apollo. He's very humble. We learn that Rock came up with the name Italian Stallion himself. When asked about the money, Rock doesn't seem to care, and on TV shouts out Adrian. That's like the only time he like seems like he cares. Like, hey, can I say something to my girl? Hey, Adrian. He's like, huh?
Is
Hey.
that when they're at
dude.
on TV and then
Yeah,
Polly's
it's
sitting
like-
here?
Yeah, he's all pissy. Polly says they're making fun of him and making him look like a fool. Rock says it doesn't bother him. Polly wants to help train But Rock says he wants to do it alone because they also bring up how much money he's going to win, even if he loses. And immediately Polly's like, huh?
I need more alcohol.
Yeah, exactly. Adrian is in full support of The Rock. The Rock.
The Rock.
My bad. This is upsetting Polly because he's
Hell
a
yeah.
drunk and he starts to yell at both of them. It's like just throwing a hissy fit essentially. Then goes back to his back room. Rocky is starting to leave. Adrian and Rock, they share kind of a sweet moment outside. Rock then confesses that, you know what? That stuff they said on TV, it did bother me.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, snap. This boy's
Lifts his
sensitive.
eyebrow up real big.
Yeah. Do you smell what the Rock is cooking?
Oh my god.
So
It's turtle.
Rocky, he's with his mob boss, Bursch. He gives him $500 for training expenses. And it's like, wow, is this
Dang.
mob boss actually like a good guy?
Found out it was
he's-
Rocky's dad.
Man, he just wants to be part of it.
I just remember the first time I watched this, I was like, oh, he's going to ask him to throw the fight or something.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. He's helping him out.
yeah.
What a good mob boss.
Yeah.
They're all like that.
That would have been a good idea. I guess he could have made some more money.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure he put money on him to lose.
I don't think.
immediately.
Yeah,
I
because
don't
didn't he
think
say like,
anybody
"Do you
expected
think
him to
you'll
win.
last?" Or do you? Well, I thought he mentioned something that made me think he was going to put a bet like on Rocky, but like for
Yeah, he
him.
did say something. It's like, hey,
But it was like it seems like he wasn't like I think you should throw the fight because I don't know you're gonna win. But I think he was gonna bet for Rocky.
yeah, I don't know. I should have probably rewound that and just kind of like really deep dived into it. But
I had a problem
I
with the
didn't.
way Rocky grabbed the money in the very beginning
yeah,
because it was like he fused his whole fist to grab like one bill.
Probably can't open his hand all the
he
way.
squished it.
it's like it's arthritis. It's like,
Oh, he's got
Yeah.
arthritis.
no, I don't know. It was a joke, bro.
Yeah.
He does in the later films.
Nice.
I wonder why. It's probably the
Maybe
music.
if you actually watch the movie, idiot. Sheesh, watch
Wow,
one or
watch
something.
more rape happen.
It wasn't right. So we cut to Mickey going up to Rocky's apartments. Mickey is acting a little more polite towards Rock now. Mickey is warning him that Rocky needs to be very careful with this fight because he may not get another chance. Mickey wants to be his manager because he has been doing it for 50 years. Mick keeps trying to convince him though, and Rocky's just like he's kind of ignoring him and not really believing him. You can tell he's still butthurt about the whole locker thing.
Don't blame him.
Rocky then brings up the fact that he has no locker. Mickey keeps trying to convince him, though. He tells him all the horror stories he had without a manager. He wants to give him all his knowledge,
But I want a locker.
right? If you just get my locker, I'd be into this.
He has a right because I mean to be fair, he's only there because he sees Rocky at the end. But you could tell he actually cared about him. It's just I don't know. I guess it's more of like, well, he probably started hating him more when he was like, you became a bruiser, and I don't want that.
No, truthfully, I just think that Mix is kind of trying to grab onto anybody that he thinks can, fight, be a contender. He only cares if he has a chance, and this
Right.
is
They
his
still-
chance.
I guess it wasn't like the cliche of like you could tell because usually those movies you're like, you know what, I don't need you. But
Well, for Mickey, it's just as much as him trying to prove that he still can be a good trainer, I feel like.
Yeah,
Right?
I think
And
so.
it's going to help his gym. Everybody's going to
Yeah.
be like, oh, I got to go with the guy that's
He's a
going to trade the
businessman.
Italian Zillion. So Rocky says he needed his help 10 years ago, and Mick wouldn't help. Mickey leaves, and Rock starts shouting, "Took you long enough to get here. Took you 10 years to get to my house." This is getting terrible.
you gotta do that more. When you do that, it helps.
Huh? What's the matter? You don't like my house? No, that's even worse.
Why are you going into?
Does my house stink? Yeah, but there's
Perfect.
this huge thing. It's a really great monologue. He's just really yelling at him. You want to move in here with me? Come on in. It's a nice house. Real nice.
I think he just wanted to vent it out. Once he got it all out, he's like, "Oh, do you want you Mickey?"
Yeah. I don't know. It's great. But this is where you can be like, oh, this guy could be a good actor.
Yeah.
Great. He's more than just a yeah. He's got some power.
I wonder if like how, because I feel like when Karate Kid came out, karate got like strong in popularity. I wonder if boxing did like Rocky did the same thing for boxing.
Well, boxing is just kind of always kind of been popular
and
for a
if
long
it-
time. Because you got Joe Frazier, you
yeah.
had Muhammad Ali,
And I feel like places
George Foreman.
like Philadelphia are kind of has more of a boxing scene, I guess.
Yeah,
Down
especially
here, it's more like NASCAR.
yeah, it's NASCAR.
Punch with cars.
NASCAR or wrestling. There's like every small town has like a wrestling venue, and it's like what?
I love it.
So Rocky then, immediately as Mickey's walking outside, just going home, Rocky does what he always does, feels bad immediately and goes outside, shakes his hand, like hugs him and stuff. And now they're going to be training. And so now we get some of we haven't got to the best part of the training yet, but we're getting his first day of training. It's 4 a.m. the next morning. Rocky gets up to start training. He drinks 5 raw eggs. Ew. So gross. It's all over his face. Gets all over his shirt. He's gonna be smelling. You know he doesn't clean that suit. You saw it. It looks disgusting. He goes out for a run. We see him run up the classic Rocky steps, but he's struggling. Probably because he ate raw eggs.
Raw eggs, beer, cigarettes.
And it's great because the music's very low key here. It's very sad. You have him holding his ribs, and it's just feeding you for wanting that classic Rocky training montage.
Yeah, only 5 weeks to get in shape for this fight.
Bro, it's a movie.
A movie.
He's been training his whole life fighting. He has the drive and motivation. He just wants to push his fist through his face to win. He has something to prove. That's the difference between Apollo and Rocky. Rocky has something to prove.
Well, to be fair, if this is how Rocky was, if he just did this training the whole time, he would have been great then. That's what held you up for 10 years, was just doing some cardio, man?
Yeah, he needed the motivation. He just didn't have the motivation. No one was with him. He was just a bum living in a crappy apartment talking to dogs and windows.
He didn't have enough eggs.
Yeah. Now he can afford eggs. So he goes to Paulie's meat locker. Paulie is still trying to get a job with the mob boss. Paulie brings up Adrian. He wants to know how it's going between them. Paulie says he doesn't understand why Rocky is into Adrian, and eventually asks if he's balling her out. Rocky says that he shouldn't talk to her about shouldn't talk about her this way. And he doesn't want to get him the job with the mob boss because he's got a big mouth. Paulie starts punching the meat, and then this gives Rock the idea, and he was wanting to intimidate him, and he starts hitting the meat really hard. Paulie is definitely a little scared now.
He's like, you're breaking the ribs.
Beating the meat.
Busted the ribs. So
now
after
he can't fight because his hands are broken.
No, they're not.
It just lowered the quality of that.
I don't know if you ever touched frozen
You got to
meat.
tenderize the meat, bro.
I know, but the grades of meat. I don't know if you've ever seen. God damn it, Hills.
Hills have eyes.
No. Anyway, we can continue. Meat. If it's got spots on it, it's the grade gets lower.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
Right.
Now I absolutely
that's
understand what
gonna
you're saying.
So if he's punching grade F meat, I might lower it to an E, which is good enough for Taco Bell. But they really should keep this guy away from the meat.
My meat's graded D plus, if you know what I mean.
See, D's get degrees.
What? Because,
I'm going to meat college.
you can call your penis a dick, and
yes.
it's dick plus means that it's larger.
Yes. Yes.
I'll explain it later.
Yes.
Do we get live demonstrations?
Yeah, well, sure. Maybe just not right now, though.
Oh yeah,
So-
I don't want anybody seeing it.
Yeah, I don't want the audience to hear it when it hits the ground. So he goes to Adrian.
The earth trembles.
So he goes to Adrian. She's taking care of him. She's trying to fool around a little bit because girl wanting it. But Rocky says there's no fooling around during training. So she's like, I'll go make you food or something. Feels bad and then goes to Adrian and apologizes. And it's it's a pretty cute scene because she comes out and she's like,
You unlocked something in me, Rocky.
no, it's okay. And then they hug. But you can just see that Rocky's getting more nervous and scared, and he's having that doubt creep in.
Dang.
We see Rocky at the gym. Mickey is giving him training tips. He's working with his footwork. Mick tells him to stay away from Adrian because women weaken legs.
I don't understand that still.
What if she comes out with eggs on her nipples, kind of like Friday Night Lights with whipped cream?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean Varsity Blues?
Varsity Blues.
Yeah.
That was
That's
also
what it
made
was.
fun of in not another teen
Yep,
movie.
exactly. No, so this is a classic thing that's in boxing movies. It's where it's you're not supposed to have sex the
Right.
night
And
before
you hear
and stuff
this
They
like
do that
nowadays
with,
with NBA players.
Yeah,
It's
they're
Yeah,
like,
same
that
thing.
makes you
Yeah.
the testosterone
takes
higher
away
up.
your will to live.
Well, it's because if you're gonna drop your load, you want to do it in the ring. So
What kind of
Rocky.
rings are you watching here?
Yes.
All right, so Rocky is starting to get noticed. Adrian is waiting at his apartment. She has a surprise, and it's butt kiss, and it's great.
Mention how that's his
It's
real dog.
It's his dog. It's his real
His
dog.
dog's name is Buttkiss.
Oh yeah,
I like that it was his actual dog. Did you notice after he gets it, his training's like he's like, oh yeah.
yeah. He's got a puppy. Like, I mean, come on. I
That's
get that.
cute.
I don't think that dog's a big dog. I don't
It's
think
a
it'd be.
mastiff.
It would not be able to run with him like he's doing. So Rocky now runs with Buttkiss. While going to Paulie's to train, he sees a news van. Paulie is trying to get some publicity for his own meat shop. The newswoman wants to do an interview with Rock. We see Paulie keeps trying to pop his head into the interview, and it's really funny.
That explains the next scene so much more.
Yeah.
I missed that part because
Yeah.
I needed captions.
Now we are with Apollo's gang. They are watching Rocky on TV because the news lady's like, hey, why don't you punch this meat or whatever?
I feel like that was a very graphic thing to show because he's punching and blood is like.
Yeah, it's awesome. That's what I want to see on the news.
Oh,
That's the
man.
news for me.
I would prefer that
Yes.
over the current. news we
CNN
have.
should just be a bunch of videos of people
Just
punching meat
a
in the locker
segment
room.
of somebody punching the meat.
It's like, now we're going to go to GLC where we have local person punching blocks of cheese.
That ain't
He's
funny.
in
I would
that.
like to
He's
see
like-
him punch that.
That would hurt.
Mickey's
More
like
than the meat, I
easy
feel like.
money.
Yes.
Yeah, and you're punching the
Yeah.
cheese.
At least the meat gives way. That cheese don't.
So they're watching Rock on TV. It's mainly just his like right hand man, Apollo's right hand man. Apollo's he's like, hey, you should like watch your guy fight on TV because he's getting worse. He's seeing him hit hard. So Apollo is more concerned about the publicity and stuff though. He's like sending like 200 roses to people and
he's
things
not
like
worried
that.
about it.
Creed's friend tries to get him to watch, but he doesn't care. And now it's Christmas time. We're just running right along. Paulie is super drunk coming home. He's like fumbling with the trash can. He's just like picking it up, dumping it. It's like, dude, just leave the trash can, man. Rock and Adrian are talking about Paulie behind his back and kind of insulting him and just being like, he's just like, I don't know what he wants me to do. I can't bring him around anybody because he's kind of crazy. Paulie overhears and starts making a scene. He's trying to kick him out. Paulie grabs a bat and just starts hitting things.
Hell yeah.
He yells at Adrian, saying she should be taking care of him. But Adrian finally stands up for herself and starts yelling at him, saying she does everything for him and doesn't owe him anything. It's like, what do you want from me?
Yeah, that was a really good scene for her. Like, thank
Yeah,
God she needed
that was her
That's
Oscar
cool,
scene
yeah.
for sure. He then says she is busted because she isn't a virgin anymore. And then Rocky just like pushes him down and like, bro, I could literally punch your lights out in one hit. Look, I'm sorry.
Why is her brother so worried about her virginity?
He's just like he's projecting like all his problems onto her.
He's
Like,
just-
it's her fault.
He's just trying to make her feel bad because he's a
you're
bad
right.
guy.
Yeah.
So he goes to check. Rocky checks on Adrian, and as soon as he walks in, Adrian, do you want a roommate? Yeah, just like we should probably figure out how to split the rent. And like I'll feed Cuff, you feed Link.
I love the names for them.
It's so good. So we cut to Rocky. He's training with Mick, and this is where we get the classic line: "You're gonna eat lightning, and you're gonna crap thunder." That one hurt.
Oh.
And then we also meet his cut guy, which is gives us the classic
Oh, the
line
guy
a
that
little
cut-
later. Cut me, Mick.
Oh yeah.
You gotta cut me. I can't see.
So Paulie comes and visits Rock and tells him that he wants to advertise Rock so that he can make some money himself. And then this is classic Rocky, right? Like, oh, Paulie the night before, really shitty guy, said a lot of really bad things, but he's a people pleaser, and he immediately like, okay, you can make some money off my name, whatever, you know.
Well, it's because he's sobered up a
if
little
you
bit.
if you know how to do it, you can do it. He's just like the ultimate, like he doesn't want anybody to be
Right.
mad at him. He's just kind of a good
Because
guy.
he's an angry drunk, and when he gets drunk at night is when he goes
Yeah,
off,
and
and then
he
he
knows
sobers
about
up
it,
some in the morning.
and he knows that like,
Yes.
oh, like Paulie needs me.
More yes.
Yeah. So I think
Just
that's
trying to help a brother out.
It's just, Rocky, good old boy.
Good old
Then we
boy.
get the classic training montage. Love it. We're getting the it's not getting stronger. I think it's like going high now, or
It's like it's not
gonna
muted,
fly
like,
now. I think it's going fly now is the name of the song.
Fly
song.
high.
This is the song from Ghostbusters, like getting higher and higher.
No, but this scene is great. Everyone he sees is cheering him, and he's able to make it up the steps that he struggled with earlier. And it's freaking electric, bro.
It ain't fun running
I
upstairs.
had Like every time I see this, it just gives me chills.
Yeah,
immediately.
it's sweet.
It takes me back to being a kid, just being like, I'm gonna be a boxer, weighing like three
before
pounds.
I joined the military, I was out running one day, and I was just by myself, and my wife pulls up behind me, playing Eye of the Tiger.
Yeah.
And like it was so funny.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So back at his apartment, we see his place decorated, and Adrian is living there. It's like all nice and Christmassy. He is visiting the ring, and then so he wakes up the next, like later that night, and he goes to visit the ring where he's going to fight. He walks around the ring and then stares at his picture. The promoter shows up, and Rock tells him his poster is wrong because his shorts are white with a red stripe, even though on the poster it's red with a white stripe. Rock is worried. This scene shows that he doesn't think he's going to win because people don't care enough to even get his shorts right.
Oh dang.
So he's just like,
Hurts your feelings.
it's just making him feel like, oh, like I have no chance in this.
He's got some depth to him.
Yeah. He goes back to his apartment and tells Adrian that he can't do it. He can't win. He says that he is a nobody and that it doesn't matter if he loses the fight. Rock says he just wants to go the distance with him because nobody ever has with Creed. He doesn't want to just be another bum from the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And
15
now
rounds.
it's fight night.
Dude, I thought boxing matches only went to 13.
I thought it was
rounds.
12.
I thought it was. It might have been 15, but I think at some
Can't
point
remember.
I thought we talked about it maybe or somebody. I think they were 15, but then they condensed it to a few more like 12, but they were a little bit longer because like it's so funny when you see anyone who's not a boxer, like the UFC people who are like I
Yeah.
could take these boxers and they go in, they're fucking gassed because
Yes.
like because UFC is about quick takedowns and theirs about like you because they can take punches
Yeah.
and those gloves. Even though you still get hurt, they're still cushioning it, so you can go a lot longer.
Yeah, because didn't Conor McGregor fight Floyd Mayweather?
He did all right, but he there it went when we watched.
Do you think it'd be easier for a UFC person to become a boxer, or do you think it's easier for a boxer to become a UFC person?
Probably the UFC to become a boxer.
That's
you just
what I
gotta
was
get the
thinking.
endurance.
I just think like there's like a difference between getting
well,
punched with
McGregor's
a
also
glove
like wasn't he
versus-
like I don't know his weight class. He was kind of like light.
Well, I thought he was bigger than Mayweather. Couldn't remember.
Because he's a lightweight.
Yeah, he's like
Floyd
champion,
Mayweather.
right?
Yeah.
Floyd Mayweather was like one of the lighter.
Floyd Mayweather was heavyweight champion, right?
No. Mayweather is not a heavyweight.
Yeah, definitely not.
He's a little
smaller
guy.
Just
Ma-
don't tell him that.
He'll kill you.
He'll knock us out just by staring at us because he could probably
He'll
hit us
hit
so
you with a
hard.
bag of money.
Yeah.
Mental projections of boxing gloves hitting you.
But something I love about boxing movies is when they tape up and they're getting ready to go
getting
out.
ready.
It's so good because it's so like nerve wracking. I couldn't imagine being.
Have
in
you
this type
watched
of
how they
situation.
actually like when they like I watched taping? I was like, man, I was like, it looks so cool, but God, that's so much work.
I know it's so much tape and like you can't move your hand with that.
Well, you can
It's-
flex it. It's just meant to be that like padding, and
It's
then you
just-
put gloves on.
It's like it's like whenever like a football player gets injured on the field and they roll their ankle. It's like they just tape it up so much where it's like your ankle can't move now. So Rocky's getting taped up, and so is Apollo. They are both doing the pre-fight warm-ups. Adrian says she will wait in the locker room. How about I stay and you go fight? He compliments her and then does the classic Rock thing about talking about things that don't matter, like his robe being too baggy. It's fight time. His entrance is small and quiet. Barely can hear the music. Then Creed comes out with this crazy entrance.
Yeah.
He's dressed as George Washington crossing the Delaware.
I
Fuck
love
yeah,
it. It was
man.
so good. I was like,
Yeah.
man, this is great. I
It's
love
I
it.
love this promoter.
And when he gets in the ring, he's dressed as Uncle Sam. I want you. I want you.
Yes.
And I want you. Pointing at Rock. And then he's like, Creed in 3. Because he is a entertainer.
He's a
Well,
big
he's
great.
also like can back
Yeah.
it up too.
That's
And
why
it's
I
like, if
love-
you can back it up with it. Like, I kind of like it.
It's like, man, Carl Weathers, you know what he does? He eats lightning, bro. Guy's electric. And you know he farts loud.
That's why his cholesterol's spiking.
Yeah. Okay. So match is about to start. Promoter introduces Joe Frazier, who's like a popular boxer. The classic
Yeah.
Muhammad Ali.
Heard of
Down goes Frazier. Down
Ah.
goes Frazier. But Joe and him so Joe and Apollo, they kind of have like a cute interaction because Joe's like, "When's my fight?" It's like, "You want to fight? You want to fight?" Carl Weathers so good.
He is.
God.
In a minute.
So I like the second one. Like that one's really good too because it's just these two fighting again, and it's just like I don't know. These two personalities are great off each other. I don't know. So they're introducing the fighters. We see a bar watching on and everybody cheering him on when they call Rocky's name. Then they introduce Apollo, and he's kind of getting a mixed reaction. And then you have Creed. He's trying to goad Rocky a little bit. It's great. And then ding, ding. The fight is on.
Dang, dang.
Rocky, of course, is just taking shot after shot as always.
No kissing, boys.
Then you got Rock. He's just trying to throw at haymakers, but he's missing all the shots. But then he finally hits Creed really hard, knocks him straight down.
Yes.
And it's like he doesn't get up to like a count of 6 or 7.
Yeah.
Everybody starts cheering.
I mean, that's exactly what I have.
Awesome.
Oh,
And we learned that it's the first time that Apollo Creed has ever been knocked down, and now Creed is starting to get a little more serious.
Hell yeah.
Creed starts taking it to him. Then Rock counters. It's a back and forth thing. Then Creed knocks him down at the bell. Adrian listens on worried, like you see him in the background. And then we go to the corner of Rocky's corner. Mick, your nose is broken. It's an improvement. God, I've just completely lost that voice. So in Creed's corner, like his right-hand man is like, it's like, look, he's not here to be entertaining. He's fighting like this is an actual fight,
Hell
not
yeah.
like you are. So like, you need to start fighting now. Man, I don't know what I wrote. My sentence,
Yeah.
that sentence was wacky that I wrote down here. I must have been not looking at the computer while typing that in. So now we're at round 2. Rocky is just taking punches, but not going down. Then Rock starts taking over. We cut past multiple rounds. Rocky is lasting the whole time and taking shot after shot. Both men look terrible now. It's great. Rock gets knocked down, and Mick is telling him to stay down. And then we see Adrian. She runs out and starts watching on while Rock gets up. Rock gets some good shots on Creed's ribs, and he's hurting now.
Hell
They're like, at the bell, Rocky can't see out his eye. This is where we get the, cut me, Mick, cut me.
Ew.
And then I guess Apollo has internal bleeding in his
Oh,
ribs.
wow.
He's like, hey, you're bleeding under there, dude.
Oh, shit.
And his corner wants to stop the fight, but he refuses. And then Rock says the same thing. Now we're at the final round. They both are looking like zombies. Rock is focusing on his right ribs, and Creed is spitting out blood now.
Yes.
Creed looks to be going down, but the bell rings. Creed says there won't be no rematch, and Rocky says, I don't want one.
Hell yeah. Such a
Great fight, right?
fucking
Yeah.
awesome
It's a
fight.
pretty innovative fight. Not a lot of boxing matches actually went into the ring. The first one to do it was Raging Bull, Martin
Oh,
Scorsese's
cool.
film, but this one kind of upped the ante a little bit. And you know, I think they ended up training for this for like nearly 30 to 50 hours.
Wow.
This whole fight,
That's cool.
they were trying to like choreograph the moves with some choreographers or choreographers or whatever, however you say it. But it wasn't working out, so they fired them just because they were struggling with it.
Yeah.
So they had Sylvester Stallone. He's like, all right, write out every single aspect of this fight, from where he moves, where you move, everything. And he wrote like 36 pages of this fight.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
And they learned it in like a few weeks.
That's awesome.
But so the match is over. The Rocky theme starts kicking in. They try to interview him, and he's just yelling, Adrian. Jesse's trying not to tear up. She is trying to make her way to the ring. We hear that there is a split decision, and Creed wins the match. Rocky doesn't care and just wants Adrian. Paulie sneaks her into the ring. It's like his one redeeming quality in this whole thing. They say they love each other, and it's the end.
Oh, man.
Literally, whenever I was watching them, just because the fight pumps me up so much.
That was such an awesome
And
fight.
then it's like he's doing so well, and you're just so proud of the guy.
Yeah.
He's been nice the whole time. And you're like, you know, he shouldn't win because he literally just took 5,000 hits to the head. And it's like, you can't win if you take that many punches, even though all the haymakers he landed were great.
Yeah.
It's like he doesn't
And
know
then-
when to stop.
But then it's like, this is when you realize, like, oh, this was a love story the whole time.
Oh, man.
Because all he cared about was his girl, Adrian.
I got the girl.
Adrian! Rocky! Yo, Adrian!
I love how he's like screaming, and she's just like, Rocky, Rocky. Like, they ain't gonna be able to hear you.
She's shy, bro. But then that's the movie.
It was
And y'all
awesome.
hated it.
I
No, I didn't hate it. I loved it. It was
It's still
great.
good. Great
Bunch of
classic movie.
bitches. Y'all
I
should.
just I didn't know about the insight that you brought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Helped me understand the movie.
We needed someone to explain why it wasn't rape.
Bro.
And try and, justify why it was probably her fault.
Y'all making me vape pretty hard here. No, I mean I do agree that scene is a little creepy.
I mean, it's not a bad
Maybe-
movie. He is. I did like his like personality. I do wish there was a bit more of the training in it, but you said the sequels are more.
Sequels are a lot more boxing heavy. This was
Yeah.
more of a character-driven story than
Right.
an actual boxing movie. But if you watch a lot of boxing movie, like a lot of the big boxing movies that people love, Raging Bull, they're all like mainly character dramas.
Yeah.
Raging, I haven't seen.
It's just when
all
you
of
watch
Raging
it,
Bull,
it's like,
but-
man, Polly's a
stresses
dickhead. I
me out.
don't feel good about this.
Hey, he's a drunk the whole series too.
Nice.
He stresses me out. That's for sure.
I don't know if I can watch.
Have you
more
ever
with him.
seen IP Man?
Yes.
It-
They
man.
remind me of Rocky movies a lot.
I need to watch those. I
I've
think
never
I've
seen him. I love the martial arts in that.
I don't know. There's one. I guess it wasn't that one that I watched. It was something else that was like a different type of martial arts, or was it that one? I can't
The
remember.
Raid.
I love the Raid. I wouldn't confuse that with anything. The Raid and Raid 2. Oh, we got to do those soon.
I've never. I
Never
need to go
seen
back
him.
and fully it's one of those movies before I really was paying attention to movies, and
Yeah.
if I go back and watch it now, I'm like, oh my god, this is like love it.
The thing with the Raid, the Redemption, it's just I don't know. Especially when it came out, we were just getting a lot of choppy action movies,
Ugh.
and this one came out. It's like, hi, this is a brutal action movie, and you're gonna feel every hit
I
that you
hate
see.
that in movies when you can't see the fight and it's just constantly cutting away.
Yeah.
I can't stand that. I cannot stand it.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh,
All right, so that's the film. We're gonna go through our categories. The first category is the good, the bad, the ugly, the fine. It's where we talk about the good of the film, something that we liked, whether it's scene, quote, actor, whatever. The bad, which is something we didn't like. The ugly, something that didn't age well. The fine, something that did age well. My good is Stallone, of course. Just the whole story behind how Rocky came to be, his performance. The fact that now if you look at Stallone, you'd be like, that guy can write.
Yeah,
I had
that's
no
what
idea
when
he
I found
wrote.
that out years later. I was like, he did that.
Yeah,
I think I agree with the good.
it's a great script.
He did. I
Yeah.
just like his character portrayal of Rocky. He's a down to earth kind of guy. Like, he's just gonna help people out. He doesn't have that like dick attitude of someone who's like a boxer because usually they have anger
yeah, yeah.
issues.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
super toxic. Like, yeah.
Like, I mean, most of these movies, they're just like, oh, it's like, I don't know, alcoholic boxer that beats her wife. That's Raging Bull.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Do I need
any-
to talk to your wife? Do you
any-
like that movie or something?
I've actually only seen some of it. It stressed me out when I was younger, and I stopped watching it. Yeah, I guess I have
I've never
stress
seen
problems.
it.
Anybody else got any other goods? Any other performances you want to shout out?
It's
Carl
classic.
Weathers, obviously.
Obviously, Carl Weathers. Also, just like how much we can quote the movie just
Mhm.
because Stallone, the way he talks and his delivery
Yeah.
of it, it
Mickey.
made it very unique. Yeah.
And this movie just changed action movies forever because then we got action Stallone.
Like,
I mean,
yeah.
We wouldn't have
yeah.
Tango and Cash, Cobra,
Was it
other movies,
Did he
Rambo.
not start doing more action movies till like the 80s? Because we were looking up some of his
well,
stuff.
this is like 76, so
yeah,
it's
and then
very
there was like
close.
2 in between that, and I think after that is when he started doing Rambo, and what's that one movie where he goes to like the future, and he's
Oh, Demolition Man.
Demolition Man.
Rambo was
Oh,
82.
man.
Demolition Man's awesome. I think that's like
Yeah.
that's 90s, I believe. You're coming on for Demolition
Judge
Man,
Dredd.
right?
Yeah, I love
Fucking
Demolition
Judge
Judge
Dredd. Yes.
Oh, I've never seen the Judge Dredd movie with him because I just like the one with Carl Urban.
Yeah, that one
cheesy.
is good.
That one's superior.
Yes.
Oh yeah, it's great. I really wish that had got a sequel. Don't want to see that.
All right. What y'all got for the bad?
Nothing.
Oh, I wonder what the bad could be.
That would be your ugly, and I
That-
also
well,
have that as the ugly.
The bad, like, what do you mean, like?
Something you didn't like about the film, like a bad performance, a bad scene, a
mm,
bad
Bad- the
line, or
Turtles
something.
had horrible.
I think I don't know. Everyone in it genuinely was good acting. It's one of those things, like I said with Alien. It's just these like everyone, even though they're side characters, they do a good job that you can't complain about.
That's
They're all
something-
memorable for the most part.
I
Even
feel
the guy
like-
looking at the TV was like, "Oh, it's good. I like it." It's just like you need to. Just felt like it was a real moment for me.
Yeah. I also feel like whenever you have side, like I feel like movies now don't have interactions with side characters or just like characters with one lines that really show you who the character is or something.
Sure.
Does
Yeah.
that make any sense?
And the person does a really good job.
Like with him just talking to the bar keeper whenever we're seeing Apollo Creed, that says so much about what Rocky thinks about boxing and his respect for other boxers, right?
Yeah.
I
Just
don't
'cause,
get that
like-
anymore. Like I just
Because because it's the classic, like, oh, we don't have boxers like we used to. And then,
not even boxers, just that scene that feels real.
Yeah.
Like just when they're eating an alien, eating around the lunch table. It's like, man, this is people you feel are genuine.
I also think it helps that, like, back in the day, we used to have just our films look like real life.
Yeah.
Instead of now everything's color
Like how
corrected. And
dreary everything in Philadelphia looks.
it's like everything now has like a color tint to it. Like,
Sure.
I mean, like all the David Fincher
Like
films.
Whiplash?
Yeah, yellow. David Fincher films are all blue usually. The Matrix is
Okay.
green.
Interesting.
Alien 3 wasn't blue. It had a little bit of
Well,
a
that's
yellow
his
tone.
first film. He had no.
Watching that,
He
and I
had
was
no
like,
control
oh,
over
wow,
that film.
Like you could understanding more about movies. Like I could see even though this is not a great movie, even with a good director behind it, it's still I love the look of it.
And also color correction wasn't really invented yet. Like Oh Brother Where Art Thou, the Coen Brothers movie, like that reinvented
because everything looked real.
Well, because they had it was like a more orange, or it's like a more
Neutral,
dusty looking, like brownish looking movie, like the color of the whole movie. And it's
That's
because,
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because if you look at, I don't know, if you ever get the DVD of Oh Brother Where Art Thou, they have the whole thing on it.
You mean commentary on movies?
I've never done the commentary on Oh Brother.
Well, it's just like behind the scenes stuff and stuff. All right, something that didn't age well.
Wonder what it could be.
Creepy scene between Adrian and Rock. That's what I put down.
Yeah, that's
about it.
Good.
Everything else ages well.
I don't like Pauly, but I don't know if that's just the way he's. I didn't like the way he's written because I just cannot like him at all, and he's supposed to be a character that's in the other
You're
movies.
not supposed to like him. He's the
I don't wanna
He's
see
the
him
ultimate. Well, until you get to like Rocky 3 and 4,
We don't have a bad guy.
The bad guy is Pauly.
That would make sense because
technically,
Apollo Creed is not a bad guy.
Technically, the bad guy in 2 is supposed to be Apollo Creed, but really, because he's a little different in the second one because he's kind of a little more scared of Rock now. Why do I keep saying the Rock?
The Rock. The Rock.
So I guess we all kind of got our what didn't age well. What aged well? What is the fine? Mine is boxing and boxing movies.
And just that
Blood
dun,
sport.
dun, 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 dun. It
Yeah, the
just still
theme.
works.
The
It
hype.
works. It builds you up.
And I put Carl Weathers. Just because, now he's gone and now we're all gonna be bummed out every time we see him because he was such a good actor and we probably should have used him more.
Oh, he should definitely have been used a lot more. After seeing him in Rocky and Predator, I'm like, why are you not? You should have been like the big action guy, like your own solo, like kind of how Stallone and Schwarzenegger is. Like he should have been up there with them. I feel like.
Yeah, I mean,
Hell
he should have
He was
been
good.
headlining movies this whole time.
He could have been like, because his attitude is good. He could have been like cockiness of like Han Solo,
Mm-hmm.
and that would have been cool. Because like with Stallone and them, they're just like the stoic kind of person.
Yeah.
he would have been like the outgoing guy. Would have been cool.
Yeah, exactly. Anything you want to add or?
No.
No, that's it. All right, so we're gonna move on to our double feature. It's where we have a movie that we say you could watch alongside of this. I'll start. I'm gonna go with the 2011 film Warrior, starring Tom Hardy, Nick Nolte, Joel Edgerton. It's like a UFC movie. It's essentially like the same thing, except you have like two people, I think they're like brothers or whatever, fighting each other. It's just really good. It's a really gritty movie, and it just gives you that same energy of Rocky, where it's like, let's get to the fight, and there's like training, and there's a lot of emotional character drama.
Sure.
Nick Nolte, it's like his last great performance because he's just like, I don't know, he just plays it so good. But yeah, it's a great movie. If y'all have never seen it, I'd suggest like legitimately, it's it's a really good movie.
That sounds cool.
Warrior, yeah. Kurt Angle's in it.
Nice.
If that means anything to anybody, he's a wrestler. It's great.
That shows IP Man.
Yeah. Is that really what it's called? IP Man?
Yeah, well, it's like
IP
Ip
Man.
Man is what they call it.
Is that what it is?
Man, Ip Man.
Is it
Because
Ip Man?
Yeah, because when I watched the movie, I always called it IP Man.
I didn't.
But then they started saying his name at the end. Ip Man, Ip
Oh,
Man.
okay.
And
Okay.
I'm
I
like,
remember that.
I've never seen it. I need to watch that. I should
It's
do that one day.
Boxer
Stop playing
versus
video games.
the
that was really good.
kung fu fighter, and he's just like punching the muscles. Oh, this is so cool.
You know what movie we need to do? We need to do Kung Fu Hustle. Have you ever?
Oh.
that movie
That
rules.
is a
We'll
good
have to do
movie.
that soon. What about you? Double feature. Think of anything?
I'll go with Creed just because of it.
I
'Cause
wrote that
can't-
down and then I was like, wait, I'll let someone else have Creed. Just
I
in
just
case didn't have
couldn't.
any
I
other
was trying to
fighting
think of
movies.
another like fighting movie that I've really enjoyed. And I was like, no, it's been Rocky movies. I think there was another one, but I can't think of I don't think I really went back and watched a lot of
You got
those.
Southpaw with Jake Gyllenhaal. That's a
I
decent
see, I haven't
one.
seen that one.
That one's pretty good.
I haven't watched a lot of like these sports movies because I always see stuff about $1 Million Baby, and I'm like, I don't want to watch that.
I don't want to watch that either.
Have you not seen Million Dollar Baby?
Mm-mm.
It's supposed to be really
I haven't.
sad.
I know
It
that-
is good. Though.
I know the ending.
Yeah, the ending is sad.
Just because it's been parodied 1,000 times.
so
Family Guy, South Park, all this.
It's like big fight at the end that you made me think of. I was like, well, maybe something I would recommend would be like the Northman. Because at the end he fights, you know,
Yeah,
the big guy.
you got the fight
It's a
scene at
fight
the end.
you built towards it.
Yeah, you're just building up to this ultimate fight with the bad guy.
Hell yeah.
And it's on like a volcano, which was really awesome.
Fucking awesome.
That movie just is straight up.
And he's
is-
riding into heaven on a horse.
It's metal. Love that movie.
Yes.
Cool. So that's our episode for this week. Thanks, Dakota,
Oh,
for
man.
joining
Thanks
us.
for having me again.
Yeah. Next week we're gonna switch things up a little bit, and we're doing another sports movie with our boy Rico. Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah. Hey, I could throw football right
I
over
could throw
these
football
mountains.
right over these
I could just had a
mountains.
chance to go, oh, bro, no, if they just put me in, I could have done
The
it.
ultimate sports
You
movie.
ever think about time travel?
Get your food, Tina. God,
Throw football over that mountain.
love this movie.
Hey, watch this. Give me a steak.
Cannot wait to rewatch that. I think it's like the 25th anniversary too, so it's perfect.
Wow.
my
And
God,
is
thanks
that
for
the most
doing all
depressing
that.
thing ever? I'm gonna make sure on that
Very
because
much so.
25?
I don't think it's 25
No.
because I think it
would've
came
come
out
out-
like 2004.
no, yeah, I
Hey,
guess that was
Hey, what year is it?
2004. It's 20th anniversary.
20.
Yeah.
Yeah, my bad. Cool. So join us for Napoleon Dynamite. That's got a lot of experiences in my life for that movie. Man, that movie took over the freaking
Yeah.
world
It was
for a
amazing.
minute,
That-
especially people our age. It was just like, oh, it's that classic
Oh, this is my whole identity now.
awkward, quiet comedy. And then, but the thing is, the people that would say that, I'm like, you're like the popular kids in our school. I was like, if anything, this resonates with me being a weirdo, like,
That was
not
that-
knowing how to talk to people and
That
stuff.
movie when it came out, it was before I knew like what they were like. They were satire, and they knew they were satire. So
Yeah.
in my mind, when I watched it, because I didn't like it when it came out, I thought they were trying to, they're playing satire characters, so it's over the top. I thought they were trying to like these were real world people genuinely acting like that, and I was like, this is so outrageous. This is not how people really act.
Yeah.
But as I got older, I was like, it's satire. It made it so much more funny for me.
Yeah. I don't know. I just love like silly, small, quiet, awkward high school movies. They're just so good. Like we need to do
Can't
8th
wait.
grade at some point. Have y'all seen 8th grade?
No.
Bo
Oh.
Burnham's directorial debut.
Bo Burnham?
Yeah.
The
Oh.
comedian?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Dude,
Huh.
it's cringy, bro. 8th grade sucked.
How old is that?
Oh, no.
I think it was pre-COVID it
Oh.
came out.
I didn't know that. I want to
It's
watch
really
that now
good.
because I
the
think
girl shows up in season 3 of Barry, I believe. She's like she's like doing scenes with the blonde girl in Barry, like for her TV show that she has. She's the girl with the short hair and like the nose ring and stuff.
Oh,
Like that's the actress. That was her first role. But yeah, so join us next week for Napoleon Dynamite. That was a whole rant there.
Yeah.
And send us an email at werecommendmailbag@gmail.com. As soon as I get some, eventually I will start saying them on the podcast.
you could be the first one to be shouted out.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have to say your name or anything. You can just ask us a question or about the movie or whatever you want.
Suggestions, whatever.
Yeah.
Next movie 4 suggestions. And then follow our Linktree if you want to follow us on social media or listen to us on another platform. It's at Linktree/We Recommend Podcast. And thank you, Joey Prosser, for making our intro and stuff.
An outro.
You can follow him on X at Mr. Joey Prosser. And this has been the We Recommend Podcast. I'm Jesse.
I'm Jason.
I'm Dakota.
And remember, Rock, women weaken legs.
Oh, you're a bum.
Bye.
Bye.